Today, we're going to talk about a concept that's near and dear to my heart, which is the actual parting message from my grandfather before he transitioned back to spirit in 2020. And I feel like it's super powerful and super relevant for the time that we're in right now. So I just wanted to share that with you because I feel like this incredible gift was just so potent in changing my perspective on a lot of things. And if it supports you as well, I definitely want to make sure I share it. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly. And before we get started, if you would be so kind as to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, leave me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing and what you'd like to see. I'd very much appreciate it. So thanks with glitter on it for doing that. And now let's get into the meat and potatoes of our video today. So we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart and frankly a little emotionally charged. And that is the parting message that my grandfather gave me when he transitioned. So, for context, my grandfather was a very quiet man. He was 95 in 2020 when he passed away. He died of Alzheimer's disease, which is horrible and cruel and vicious and every other awful thing. And honestly, because of the circumstances of 2020, if y'all were alive at that period of time, you know what I'm talking about. It was significantly worse, I feel like, than it had to be for him. And I frankly feel like there was a lot more suffering than was fair or right or necessary as a result of that whole experience and the fear and all of the things. But that's not the point of today's video. My grandfather, again, quiet man, he was a World War II veteran. So you can imagine some of the fascinating things that must have happened in his universe during that whole experience and, what happened after. I know that he believed towards the end of his life, he probably had dementia for anywhere between 15 to 20 years, the last 20 years of his life. And he believed he was a prisoner of war for a good long time and that he was scheduled for execution, any day now. Like, he was in the nursing home and he'd ask the warden, who was the nurse at the nurse's station, like, when his execution was scheduled. It was awful. Like, he took it all in stride, was totally chill about the whole experience. But, like, oh my God, could you just imagine what must be going on between the ears of an individual that is their reality? Like, I just can't even. But and I'll be honest, I didn't know him very well. My grandmother, his wife, had pretty significant mental health issues, and she was not super tolerant of other humans existing in her universe, and so it was not a friendly place to spend time with my grandparents. But my grandpa was an avid outdoorsman. He loved to be outside. He loved to garden. He loved to be in the sunshine. He loved his family. um, he just he had a strong appreciation for all the little things, which I loved. And when he was, nearing the end of his existence, I did some work with him about his experience. And he was always a provider, like always. He just felt very strongly that he was responsible for his humans and needed to take care of them at all costs because that's what you do. And I just told him, like, dude, continuing to exist inside a very frail body that is frankly not serving you, and it's creating a tremendous burden on the loved ones that you are claiming to support. um, you know I don't understand what you're doing. Like, I don't understand why you don't just let go and choose to transition. And his response to me was, well, I'm doing the best I can. I may not be able to do much for them, but like, if I can continue to support my family, even if it's just financially because they get paid to take care of me. So if that helps to support them, then I am willing to do whatever I need to support my family. And I was like, well, you're a much better human than I am because frankly, I personally would not choose to exist in a state of perpetual misery. At least that was my experience of it, his experience. And I wouldn't do it. to take care of my humans, I would absolutely not. I would find a way from spirit to take care of my humans if that felt aligned for me. And he said something I will never forget. And he said, love is never wasted. And that was so powerful for me because I was like, okay, two things. First of all, wow, like your dedication and commitment to that which you love, which in his case was his family, was it was completely worth whatever sacrifice he felt he had to make. Whatever struggle, whatever physical, mental, emotional pain that he experienced, it was completely worth it because he loved so much. And even if that love wasn't necessarily understood as love, he still showed up in that essence, in that energy, that vibrational frequency. And even if it wasn't necessarily like understood or appreciated in the way that I feel like would be most honoring to him in his memory, he was completely happy with that experience, like completely contented. And I was blown away by that. Because again, in life, I didn't have a meaningful engagement with my grandparents. It just wasn't something that was really feasible given all of the circumstances. But for that to be like the parting message, like that is the legacy that I get to carry forward. Like, so my point in sharing is that we all love, we all do. And sometimes it feels like pouring that love in a direction where it's unrequited or not reciprocated or any of those kinds of things. That doesn't mean that that love is wasted. That energy is never wasted. You put something powerful and beautiful out into the world. Does that mean that you continue to pour love into things that maybe don't pour love into you, like relationships, experiences, whatever? That's up to you. Only you can decide what's right for you. Only you can decide what makes the most sense and what is really in alignment with who you are in this moment. But just know that there's no need for self-punishment or, judgment or shame or any of that when it comes to love, because it's not wasted. Those efforts are not wasted. Like that experience of honoring and just that frequency, that vibrational frequency of love, even if it doesn't go to like the right place, doesn't matter because it's not wasted. Those efforts are not wasted. That vibrational frequency isn't wasted because, maybe it's needed. And maybe we're the only ones that can pour that out into the world in that way, in that moment. And we never know the impact that that's going to have. We just can't say, and that's okay. It's one of the beautiful mysteries of life. So for those of you who might be having a struggle or, just kind of wondering, is this even worth it? Yeah, it is. It is, because love is never wasted. Never. Even if it feels like it's pointed in the wrong direction. We just never know how the ripples in that pond from throwing that little pebble of love out into the world might change lives, might change the experience for ourselves and someone else. So just wanted to share that powerful, beautiful experience with you all because it's the month we celebrate love and it just felt like this is really aligned. So thank you with glitter on it for hanging out with me today and choosing to participate in this message. And I hope that you have a sparkly rest of your day.